Okay, I wanted to review my results from last week. This took me around 5 hours, and this document was generated with Claude. So I backtested from July 12th to July 17th, 46 possibilities with an 84.8% win rate. Okay, that is a very good result, and my results are still here. There's no reason to change anything. This is in line with my larger data set. Okay, we know 46 setups is not enough to have confidence, but this is in line with what I do already have, my hundreds of trades. Okay, so I'm going to add this into my larger data set, and I'm going to use this to stay focused. Okay, because my psychology has faltered. I tricked myself into thinking that my strategy wasn't as effective as it used to be. Why is that? Is it because we have novelty-seeking brains? Is it because strategy hopping is a weakness that a lot of traders face? Is it because we see the woman in the red dress and we get distracted? What do you think happens when you get distracted by the woman in the red dress? Nothing good, I'll tell you that much. But your strategy is your business model. And when you strategy hop, it's like having a pizza joint and then opening up a burger shop and then starting a taco stand. And I don't think that works. I don't think that's a good approach. You have to stick to what you know and get better at what you're doing. So if I'm trading these reversal trade setups, that's what I need to continue to do. No matter if we're in a negative gamma regime, no matter if the war in Iran sends gold into hell, it doesn't matter what's happening, okay? Because the proof is in the pudding right here, and we can see that my strategy is still working. We're going to create stories in our heads, but backtesting is a way to maintain confidence and to stay focused on what you're doing. And this is why I had to take 5 hours, 3 hours last night, 2 hours this morning, and I had to figure out what was happening, what are the results, and why is my psychology faltering, okay? And here we have the great results that I came to expect. And it's just a matter of personal discipline, and it's a matter of protecting my mental capital, because I'm going to tell you, when you take a lot of discretionary trades and you keep having these unmet expectations and these constant failures, your psychology is going to be flushed down the toilet. Okay, you're going to start questioning yourself. You're going to start feeling bitter about the market. You're going to start saying that you can't do this, or you're going to have this feeling like, oh, great, I'm going to get screwed again today. Here we go. I just got screwed again. This market is a con artist machine, or whatever crazy comment you're going to come up with, right? But really, you're doing it to yourself. You're doing it to yourself because you're not staying focused, right? And you need to stay focused. And I'll say this over and over and over again, and I'll continue to backtest. I'll continue producing this result, and I'll do it as many times as I need to in order for me to stay focused and be more process-oriented. And I also think part of the problem is chasing the short-term results. It's not just deviating from the strategy. So let me just say that my trade setup, we can expect this to happen every 3 or 4 hours. On average, every 3 or 4 hours. So if you're chasing a short-term result, if you're trying to take a trade right at the Tokyo Open, instead of waiting for something to form, instead of waiting for your trade setup, well, that's not going to work. That's not going to work. If you can't wait 3 or 4 hours for a trade setup, then trading is not going to work, and you cannot be a trader. If you cannot wait 3 or 4 hours, you cannot be a trader. Simple as that. That's going to be a nice reminder for myself, and to be more process-oriented, okay? Because I have the data, high win rate here, but it's just a matter of waiting 3 or 4 hours for a new setup to form. And that's how often it happens. It doesn't happen frequently to the point where you can be this scalping machine, but 3 or 4 hours is a decent frequency, all right? And when you lose a trade, you need to step away. You need to step away. You don't need to take a revenge trade, right? Because there's going to be another setup. Statistically, there's going to be another setup soon. All right. That's all I'm going to say in this video. So maybe I can go into what we're looking at here. The fails, I guess I missed the detail on 717. I wasn't intentionally trying to add a detail to every single trade. We can see my wins. The details are more sporadic here. But I guess I'd like to have reasoning for my losses more, or my failures. So we're looking at pre-CPI chop at 5:30, and then pre-news data, pre-jobs data. So you don't really want to be taking trades before the 5:30 data releases. I don't like to trade London, and some of these you can avoid. You know, these aren't the inevitable failures that you think you might have. You know, some of these are more common sense situations, all right? And that's a very small data set, or that's a very small cluster of losses, of fails, 7 fails out of 46. Okay, but these wins, these successes, oh, I guess I do have my failures here. I have my failures included. But anyways, post-jobs data, I did find that fading CPI and fading PPI worked this past week. We had inflation data releases that spiked gold on both occasions. And fading both of those days, Tuesday and Wednesday, those were great opportunities. Anyways, I'm not going to get too far into this. Last week, I did start recording the point range, and the point range is the 1-to-1 range, so you have your risk and reward. And then I wanted to record time to resolution. So how long am I going to be sitting in this trade until I either get a failure or a success? And this is partly why it was so incredibly consuming, but we'll see if I can hold on to this thorough data recording, okay? Anyways,